So we all know the promise, right? AI is writing more and more of our code, and it's supposed to make everything incredibly fast. But what if that speed comes with a hidden cost? A cost so high that it could lead to an absolute catastrophe. Well, some experts believe we're on a collision course with exactly that kind of disaster, and they've even put a date on it. Let's dive into this world of vibe coding and figure out why the clock is ticking.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. That is a chilling warning from Simon Willison, the co-creator of the Django Web Framework. He's not just talking about a few bugs or some security holes. He's comparing the current state of AI coding to the Challenger disaster. That's a powerful, powerful statement, and it really sets the stage for a conversation that every single developer needs to be having right now.
So, is a disaster really in the making? Let's take a look at the specific prediction that's got everyone so alarmed.
Okay, so according to security expert David Mighton, we are absolutely on a collision course. He predicts that as more of these AI-assisted applications go live, we're going to see big explosions. And by that, he means catastrophic failures in production systems. And what's the root cause? It's code that was spit out by an AI and never fully, truly understood by a human being.
And he's not just talking about some far-off distant future. Mighton has put a date on it, 2026. I mean, that's just a couple of years away. The question is, are we ready for what's coming?
So what is this practice that's pushing us toward that 2026 deadline? It's got a name, vibe coding. And it's about time we all understood exactly what it is and why it might be so dangerous.
Vibe coding is basically when you use an AI to generate some code and it just, well, it feels right. You know, the vibe is correct. It seems to work, so you ship it. But do you really understand what that code is doing? Do you have any idea what its potential side effects are? If the answer's no, you, my friend, are vibe coding.
And this slide right here really just highlights the huge shift that's happening. We're moving from a world where we understood every single line of code to a world where we're just trusting an AI to get it right. And that is a really dangerous place to be. We've got to find a way to get the best of both worlds. The incredible speed of AI, but with the safety of actual human comprehension.
So what's the big deal? What's the worst that can happen? Well, according to David Mighton, the blast radius of this unverified AI code is much, much larger than you might think. Let's really take a closer look at these hidden risks.
When an AI coding assistant gives you a block of code, do you really get what it's doing? Do you know all of its potential side effects? If you don't, you're taking on a massive risk. And the scariest part is, you don't even know how big that risk is. Are you really willing to bet your company's future on a piece of code that you don't fully understand?
Yeah, this slide really brings the dangers home. You've got an unknown blast radius for any bugs, you've got logic you can't really verify, and you've got a security backlog that is actively poisoning your new code. It's a recipe for disaster.
Eitan Warsell from Mob just hits the nail on the head here. Your existing vulnerabilities, they are actively poisoning your new code. The AI sees a flawed pattern in your app. It assumes, oh, that must be an approved pattern, and then it replicates it, spreading your security debt like a virus through your entire codebase.
But look, it is not all doom and gloom. David Mighton is clear that vibe coding isn't inherently evil. Actually, there are some pretty specific situations where it can be a really useful tool.
So when is it okay to vibe code? Well, according to David Mighton, there are 3 key scenarios. First, when you're building a quick prototype that you're just going to throw away anyway. Second, when you're making really small, easily reviewable edits. And third, when you're working inside the constraints of a well-tested SDK. In those cases, you can actually manage the risk.
Okay, so how do we use these powerful AI tools without setting ourselves up for disaster? The answer is to build the necessary guardrails. Let's take a look at what those guardrails actually are.
The golden rule of AI-assisted coding is this: use AI to implement something you already know is secure, not to invent new security logic from scratch. Think of it like cryptography. You would never write your own crypto library, right? Of course not. You'd use a battle-tested one. The same logic applies right here.
So what are some practical strategies for building these guardrails? Well, first, you need a really robust test suite. Second, consider using a language like Rust, where the compiler can catch a ton of errors for you. And third, always, always, always use battle-tested libraries for anything that's security critical. Let the AI write the boilerplate code, but you write the core security logic. So, what does all of this mean for your daily workflow? Here's a simple checklist you can use to decide when to hit the brakes and when it's safe to accelerate with AI.
David Mighton has provided a super simple go/no-go guide you can use every day.
Are you just scaffolding around a secure library? Green light. Making small, easily reviewable changes? Green light. Asking the AI to invent a new security protocol? That is a hard red light. And building an entire application from scratch? That's a red light too, unless you're totally willing to throw it away.
The clock is ticking. 2026 is right around the corner. Is your code base ready? Are your processes ready? It's time to start having these conversations with your team, right now. And it's time to start building the guardrails that will keep you safe in this age of AI. Because honestly, the future of your company might just depend on it.